Time for you to do you know what. You're a real lifesaver, you know? I'm guessing you saw the tar lake out west of here, yeah? That's where the settlement known as Lakeside Fort Knott used to be. Whole place got wiped clean off the map by a void out. And since that day, the tar's been eating away at this facility. Some weirdness with the currents, or at least that's what folks are saying. But the stuff you just brought me, I might just be able to keep the tar corrosion at bay. Finally. I've shared some data with you as well. Feast your eyes on these grenade launcher and cargo catapult schematics, both new and improved designs. You'll find they're a damn sight better than stuff you used to use back in the UCA. Recently, folks living here have been talking about this group of guys in red they saw creeping around. Got something to do with Higgs, more likely than not. One more thing that's had us worried these days. But now that you're here, I think we can all finally take a breath. Before I forget, got a new suit design to give you as a gift. One favored by a prepper back in the UCAs, you may recall. Try it on for size, why don't you? Well, the grenade launcher's been configured to fire MP shells. Human, mech, BT, doesn't matter. You can use it against all types of enemies. Now, the cargo catapult still does exactly what you'd expect. Lets you fling containers to the tops of mountains and whatnot. However, you can now also use catapults to launch certain throwable weapons as projectiles. After launching a payload, you can use a catapult pod's integrated camera to tweak trajectory and aim for a specific point of impact. It's a way of attacking targets in hostile areas from a good, safe distance. Pretty cool, right? This stuff will come in handy, I'm sure of it. Something like that. I suspect it was a squad of ghost mechs myself. I heard about you shutting down that weapons factory, but arms and ammo are still finding their ways into the hands of bad guys, aren't they? So Higgs is still stirring up trouble behind the scenes, I presume. We're attempting to develop methods to help folks put a stop to his activities. And the weapon data we shared with you is one of the products of our efforts. I tell you, a world where we don't need these damn things can't come soon enough. But on the bright side, we at least have some researchers who are based at Lakeside Fort Knott helping us out here. And if you're up for it, maybe you can help us with our work too. It happened sometime after I arrived with one of the early expeditions. A giant BT showed up, made contact with residents, and boom, void out. Same old story. Massive voidouts happen in the UCA too, remember? Or maybe you don't. Chiral network coverage was somehow unaffected, but unfortunately, thousands of people were caught in the explosion. And you know, every time this happens, I can't help but think about Igor. This is just how it went down back in the UCA. We think we were done for. Then the man who delivers shows up. Truth is, you're the reason I volunteered for the advanced expedition. The reason I was able to keep going. We figured if I did, I might get a chance to see you again. That BB pod you're carrying is different than I remember. Doesn't have my brother's keepsake attached anymore either. But hey, life's not just about things. Promise me you'll never forget Igor, Sam. He's gone, but he still feels so close, you know? Sorry. We should probably talk about work. An order with your name on it just came in. A request from a guy not far from here who spends his days fishing in the tar. Come to think of it, I believe he's one of the precious few survivors of the Lakeside Fort Knot Voidout. It's filed under sub-orders on the delivery terminal here. Take a gander and see what you think. Right. I'll leave you to it. Keep on keeping on.
Fine work as always, Sam. Now come back to this ship and get some rest. Also, we've identified what may be a ghost mech outpost. I'd like you on standby. Your next order might be a dangerous one.
Order completed. Well done.
Sensing any BTs nearby. Let's move quickly and grab the cargo. Sam, did you hear that? It sounded like a creature of some sort.
Weapons detected. Be advised that usage is restricted inside facility grounds.
Access the delivery terminal to process your orders and requests.
You got it back for me. You really went out and recovered every last container. Right, give me just a moment to check the damage. All right, use your Cupid to put me on the network. So, you've hooked me up. Cheers for that. The network should help me continue my pursuit of the Lord. Yeah, him. I wager you've heard him sing out by the Tar Lake, haven't you? Private fella, rarely shows his face, but when he does appear again, it'll be a bloody catastrophe. On a scale of what happened to Lakeside Fort Knot. Catch my drift? But it's my hope that the cargo you've hauled over here will prevent anything like that. So, thanks again, Sam. Oh, and the data I shared with you is for a remote detonation grenade launcher. Humans, mechs, BTs, it's good against them all. Something tells me you're gonna need it real soon. After firing a grenade, you can use a switch on the launcher to detonate the shell manually. Timing is everything when you're in the middle of a fight, but you can also use this function to set up traps in advance from a safe distance. Comes in quite handy for me when I need to drive off nosy chiral creatures. You should experiment with it. The Lord of the Tar Lake, a monstrous fish, legendary round these parts. I went out with some mates of mine to try and finally catch the bastard, which is how we learned we weren't dealing with a fish at all. It's a giant BT. In fact, it used to be a pair of giant BTs, and one of them was responsible for the void out that reduced Lakeside Fort Knott to a smoking crater. Our ship went down in the chaos. My mates went down with it. I was the only survivor. Couldn't tell you how I got away from the wreck. Don't remember a thing. I woke up in the company of those twins. They're the ones who saved my life. But don't think that's the end of the story. I can still hear the Lord singing, the other BT. It's still out there. And we've got to do whatever it takes to kill it. The cargo you brought me from our ship is just the thing we need to track it down. I'll be conducting a detailed investigation. And when I've got a lead on its whereabouts, I hope I can count on your help. Cheers for the help. Really, the Lord of the Tar Lake is a threat we can't afford to ignore. It's a catastrophe waiting to happen. So I will need your assistance in the future. It's not the kind of enemy I can take on alone. I'll update you when I know more. Until then, stay safe and stay in touch, mate.
Order completed. Well done.
You can use it to protect your deliveries from the degradation caused by timefall. And if you happen to take a bit of a tumble, it'll prevent your cargo from falling out of your backpack as well. Of course, there's a limit to how much cargo you can shield with it, and important pieces take priority, obviously. No doubt you'll have plenty of those, so be sure to use the cover to protect them. And just so you know, I'm making progress in my investigation into the Lord of the Tar Lake. I've finally been able to access the observational records from that cargo you went out and recovered for me. It seems the Lord doesn't usually emerge from the depths for one and all to see. I'll review the historical data on hand and try to determine what, if anything, might prompt him to reveal himself. Thanks again for your help, and be safe.
Sam.
Yeah. Nice.
assessment, we know where the Ghost Mech base can be found. When you're ready, access the T3 Magellan's delivery terminal and accept this main order. I'll brief you on the details after that.
It would seem that Tomorrow's grown more adept at wielding her powers. All that practice manipulating the temporal properties of apples has helped her to gradually refine her technique. And now she can treat you to the literal fruits of her labor, perfectly ripened ones, no less. I heard what Victor Frank said about your BB pod. You used to have a different keychain attached to it in the past? Igor. Ah, yes. The corpse disposal team member that was caught in the void out with you that time. I see now. The keychain was a memento to remember him by. I've been mulling over the words Victor said to you earlier. He's gone, but he still feels so close. There's a universal truth in that sentiment. The closer we are to people when they're alive, the stronger the bond we forge with them in our hearts. No matter how much time passes, I still feel her presence. My daughters. No doubt you feel the same about Lou. One day, Sam, when you have a moment to spare, I'd like to tell you about my daughter and the strange events that changed the course of our fates. too, didn't you? Mm-hmm. It was him, Neil Vanna, I'm certain of it. That clearly wasn't a memory of yours. Was it some thought of Lou's, lingering in the pod? Hold on. Lou was assigned BB-28 serial number 4 years ago, but Vanna died in a void out 11 years ago. It doesn't add up.
Meaning what? That it was his memory we just saw?
He and Lou must be connected. But how?
Sam, the data you secured for us at the weapons factory earlier has proven invaluable. With it, we were able to continue our investigation and succeed in locating fabricators with similar specifications. I'll brief you in depth as you review the map. Accept this main order from the delivery terminal in order to proceed. Okay, Sam. The facility we've identified is here. An abandoned factory south of the F5 East Distribution Center. There are operational fabricators inside. More than you had to deal with for the previous order, in fact. And to make matters worse, it seems these ones are configured to produce ghost mechs. Higgs is likely pulling the strings at this factory too. So with that in mind, your main objective is as follows. Eliminate both the ghost mech fabricators and any hostiles you encounter on site. In addition, each fabricator contains vital data that we need you to retrieve and deliver to the Magellan. By analyzing it, we hope to gain insight into Higgs's activities and future plans. Tarman will give you the device you'll need to extract the data before you head out. For now, consider the route you wish to take.
Sam, you'll need to take this ring terminal expansion device with you again. Make sure it's in your possession whenever you attempt to access a ghost mech fabricator on site. If you have it with you, it'll automatically extract data from the fabricator terminal while simultaneously destroying it. Once you've disabled all fabricators, return to the Magellan with the device and submit it for processing. We'll handle the analysis on our end like last time. Remember that it contains special components that can't be reproduced by printers. Take every precaution to ensure you don't break it.
Like something seriously big is waiting for us. Stay on your guard and proceed with caution. I see now. They build ghost mechs in this facility. The ghost mech fabricators appear to have been activated. This could get very bad very quickly. We need to destroy them as soon as possible. worry about. And we've secured its data, too. There should be 3 fabricators remaining. Keep the ring terminal expansion device safe and proceed to the next one. Is that the last of them? Right. All ghost mechs have been eliminated. Now, to deal with the fabricators. Use your ring terminal expansion device to hack into the fabricator terminals. Almost there. Just one more fabricator to go. Fabricators have been destroyed. All that remains is to take the ring terminal expansion device with the extracted data back to the DHV Magellan for processing.
Back, Sam. Now let's take a look at the cargo you've brought us.
Our analysis of the data you extracted for us has yielded detailed records of deliveries to the factory. It seems both the materials used to manufacture those ghost mechs and the routes used to transport said materials were the same as those utilized by APAC. This indicates that APAC was likely involved in the production of these mechs.
Wait, could this possibly mean that Higgs and APAC are working together? We should watch what we say around the President.
We'll need to proceed carefully with our investigation. If APAC and the President did indeed have a hand in these activities, the security of our operations is entirely compromised. One more thing, Sam. Some of the data we received concerned ghost mechs outfitted with rocket launchers. I realize you didn't encounter this type within the factory, but it's possible Higgs may have already deployed them elsewhere. We need to prepare countermeasures for the DHV Magellan with all due haste. There's a specialist who can help us in South Fort Knott, just beyond this mountain. Putting F6 on the grid is one of our objectives anyway. For now, we'll make preparations in an effort to secure his cooperation. You should head to your private room and try to get some rest before your next order is ready. And Sam, good work.
About that ghost mech we saw carrying what appeared to be a coffin on its back. I wonder if that coffin was somehow connected to the beach. I distinctly felt the presence of the dead from within its armor. If you could deal a blow powerful enough to bypass its defenses, it might be enough to stop it in its tracks. Failing that, you could always concentrate your attacks on a single location on its body.
This run is going to involve a hard trek up some snowy mountains, too. So make sure you're well and truly prepared before heading out. Now, the adventurer you're delivering to travels the continent to try and solve the mysteries of the Death Stranding. You gotta respect a man putting in that much work. The cargo you'll be taking him is related to his latest investigations, or so I hear. I'd appreciate it if you helped out, not just with this order, but any future ones as well. Don't let us down, Sam.
Vehicle ready. Please drive through. Order accepted. Thank you.
Do you have a moment, Sam? I was wondering if you'd noticed Hartman doing anything strange lately. Sending odd mails, sleepwalking. You know I'm not the kind of person who enjoys spying on her colleagues. But when I finally decided to check the surveillance cameras, there he was, wandering around at night. If you see anything out of the ordinary, don't hesitate to contact me.
Just a bit further now.
Good morning to you. Drawbridge credentials verified. Welcome, Sam.
Security measures lifted. Weapons detected. Be advised that you...
Hello, and thank you for stopping by. You've brought something for my father, right? Sorry, I'm afraid he's not here at the moment. Can't say I know what value this cargo has, but I can assess its condition in his absence. Thanks again for the delivery. You came to connect us to the chiral network too, am I right? Sorry, but I'm not allowed to make that decision by myself. And right now, there's no telling when my father's going to get back. He was coming home from a long trip up north and got as far as the snowy mountains nearby, but then we lost contact. I was actually hoping someone could search for him and posted a main order. I'm certain he's still alive, and since no one else has taken on the order as of yet, I hope you'll at least consider it.
Sounds like we've got an emergency on our hands. You can accept the order by accessing this delivery terminal, Sam. Adventurer was in this area when he last made contact with his son. See any sign of him, Sam?
Almost there.
What do we have here, Sam?
Okay. Let's get a move on.
What a relief. He's still breathing. You can put him in a protective bag and carry him home. You know, he looks familiar somehow. Didn't we save this man once before? Right then. Let's hurry and take him to his shelter.
Right to trust you. Thank you for finding him. I need to assess his condition right away. Please wait. My father said it's okay, so you can go ahead and connect us to the chiral network.
Connection confirmed. Seems to be working fine. Thanks for that. I'll have my father take a look at the cargo you brought me a little while back. But knowing him, he might vanish the moment I turn around. People have given him a nickname. The Adventurer. He takes it a bit too far sometimes, but it's not like he would stop if I asked him to. Anyway, as my way of saying thanks for tracking him down, I've shared a schematic for climbing power gloves with you. They can help you climb steep slopes and grab cargo more easily. But don't take my word for it. Try them on for size and you'll see. They strengthen and enhance all movements you perform with your arms when worn. They make climbing steep hills less taxing. Even the simple act of picking up cargo is faster and smoother. You can also use them to draw cargo towards you from a short distance away, so you can grab it. They help you punch harder as well and keep your balance more easily. My father told me that he came up with the whole concept with the help of some people he met on one of his journeys. Said it was based on some stranded cargo or something, I think. I'm afraid I don't know much more than that, but I do know my father absolutely swears by them. Yeah, he disappears without warning and comes back with just as little fanfare. And there are times like this where he doesn't come back at all. That's why I have to impose on people like you to go and rescue him. One day you'll understand, he tells me, like that's supposed to make it okay somehow. Thank you again for bringing him home. Good luck and safe travels.
Much appreciated, Sam. You should get plenty of rest. Frostbite can be serious. We have to make sure you're not showing signs. Another thing, we need to talk about Hartman's situation. Come and see me when you get back to the DHV Magellan.
Sorry.
Hey, Sam. Long time no see. It's me, your old pal, Dead Man.
Dead Man.
Sorry if I gave you a scare. While Hartman is off conducting his near-death excursions, I am borrowing his body. My soul is normally confined to the beach, but for 3 minutes, I get to be here.
How's that possible?
Because he has my heart.
You're telling me that's...
My parting gift to Hartman, yes. Per his request, I bequeathed it before departing on my one-way trip to the beach. He put so much stress on his own that it had grown quite weak. If and when it failed, mine was meant to serve as insurance. But as you can see, he appears to have become rather attached to my heart. His finger never far from the proverbial on switch. Which is why I've been able to assume control of his body. Come here. It's good to see you, Sam. I told you in Mexico that someone had falsified BB-28's records. But in truth, it was yours truly. My intention was to leave no trace of a second BB-28 or of Lou. I wanted you to be free to live your lives, unburdened by the past. But then, well, everything changed, didn't it? You lost Lou, and needed answers to make sense of it all.
30 seconds remaining.
So, I decided to access the network servers from within the beach. Security isn't as strict over there as it is here, you see.
So that was you?
That's right. I am the one who dug up the information about Lou's past. Your very own Hartman was me all along.
2. Administering shock. Stand clear.
Sam? What's going on? And where are we?
Sam. Poor Hartman here is understandably confused. If you give us a moment alone, I'll explain things to him.
Oh, okay.
Well, I've apprised Hartman of the situation. It's not unlike my own experience. A soul finds itself in a puppet, and then acts as a puppeteer. One's ka can reside in any vessel to which one has a strong attachment. Human ha or inanimate object. It makes no difference.
Sam, it's Charlie. We've received an emergency distress call from the Eastern Environmental Observatory. I urge you to access the Adventurer's delivery terminal and pick up this main order immediately.
It goes without saying, but I was not born into this world with this doll as my ha. Would you like to hear how I came to be in this condition? My darling wife was working as a nurse in an isolation ward. A luckless place which one day found itself in the path of a tar tsunami, a freak occurrence triggered by an ill-timed gatequake. Not a single person survived. No patients, no doctors, no wife. We just have to be careful. Hold on. Access to the site had been restricted, but we weren't about to let that stop us. It was my daughter's idea. She was desperate to see her mother again. Be careful. Take off your one. Okay, hold my hand.
Mommy?
It's me, honey. It's me. In the end, it wasn't even her daughter that she remembered. Before we knew it, we were swallowed by the tar, battered against the rocks, and eventually coughed back up into this world. Wait! Don't go! Down here, please!
Hello, little one. You cold? Let me guess. The car of that poor girl over there?
Oh, my daughter's car is long gone. I'm afraid it's just me now. She died, but for whatever reason, her soul was unable to move on because it ended up here in her doll, stuck somehow. My baby girl would have been left here all on her own. So I liberated her, forced her car out with one solid push. And she was free at last. Free to leave this world and go to where the dead belong. Just as I would have done, had I not gotten stuck myself.
I see. That's quite a story. Believe it or not, I've been looking all over for you, Mr. Spirit Medium.
As you can see, I'm of no use to anyone. I can't go anywhere. I'll be stuck here for the rest of eternity, that's that.
Wanna come work for me instead? Yoha's no good to you now.
Huh. It didn't last long out of the tar. Poor old thing turned into a bog body in no time at all. You think you could bury them for me?
They call me fragile. What do they call you? The taller man, maybe? No. Dolman suits you better.
Fragile hadn't come looking for me, I'd almost certainly still be lying in that dreadful tar bog.
But your soul's trapped in that doll forever?
Perhaps. But if I could break free from this thing, maybe then I can be reunited with my daughter. When that happy day might come, I cannot say. I did what any father would do. I pushed my daughter's car out of this doll. And she was free at last. Free to leave this world and go to where the dead belong. Thank you for listening to my story, Sam. But enough about me. It's time I let you focus on your job. As I mentioned before, I lost my wife to a tar tsunami. And after she died, she turned into a gazer. My daughter was unable to accept her mother's passing. She pleaded with me to see her again. As a medium, I thought it was within my power to grant her wish. So I gave in and took her to the hospital where her mother had died. It was the worst mistake I've ever made. I thought it was the right thing to do, taking my daughter to be reunited with her mother. And when we arrived, we played her favorite song, hoping for a reaction. But it was too late. She had no memories of our time together as a family. She was no different from any other gazer. To be honest, I already knew that deep down. My daughter's heart was swallowed up by the tar soon after, as was mine. And eventually, my car became stuck inside my daughter's doll. A prison very much of my own making. I couldn't tell you how long I lay there, until finally, someone came. Fragile. Looking for fellow doomed sufferers to recruit to her cause. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for her. I dare say tomorrow may have mastered her unique abilities. She can complete the apple aging exercise flawlessly and with remarkable consistency. It's been a boon for her confidence, and I am ever so happy for her, as I'm sure you are as well. Was that, taste? No matter what misfortune may befall him, that adventurer is going to keep exploring the continent. I just know it. Is it the primal calling that compels him to make these journeys? Or perhaps he's become addicted to the thrills that come with experiencing the unknown. Regardless of his motivation, when I see how distressed his son is, I want to do what I can to get him home safe.